90% of new TCG sellers will quit by Christmas, not because cards are bad, not because the market crashes, but because they built a business that wasn't meant to last. I know this because I almost became one of them. My name's Jesse. I sell cardboard online at happytigergaming.com. I also have a business degree. There it is. Visual hook aside, let's get started. Reason number 1, no distro access. A lot of sellers, myself included, thought if I just get enough 5 stars, eventually I'll get a distributor without having to pay the rent. Here's the reality check. Your odds of getting a distributor if you don't have a storefront are under 1%. During hype waves especially, when there's thousands of new stores that pop up that will pay for the storefront, your access to distro, even if you had it, is significantly lower, and you just can't build a business on that. It's rough. So these new guys are grinding. They're selling 18 months waiting in line, trying to get retail products, trying to buy from eBay and pack them differently and sell them just to get the 5 stars, and it's not even going to help. It's not going to help because you can't scale meaningfully if your time is spent making low decisions like standing in a line. That's not the high level leverage decisions that it takes to scale a TCG business. This is all my opinion. This is all for entertainment purposes. Don't at me. Reason number 2, bots and retail scarcity, but mostly bots. People are fighting in Costco, elbowing each other, throwing each other, kicking each other for product. There's a new product drop on Pokemon Center. If you have a job, you can't even get in line because you're at your job. And if you don't have a job, you know that the bots go there anyway. Before you can even click on checkout, the bots already bought out the supply. So it's really, really hard to compete with that. Good luck refreshing the Pokemon Center, and they'll call you a bot because you moved the mouse in a weird way, and now you can't buy anything. Meanwhile, the actual bots just bought up all of the supply at retail. So you can't get distro access, which is under MSRP. You can't even get stuff from Pokemon Center because the bots buy it all. So already you're seeing a pattern here with how hard it is to get the TCG. No matter how much you're hustling, it's not even about that anymore. You're bringing a spoon to a gunfight, basically. And this takes me into number 3, and they all tie together. Margins are high, but that's only if you can get the product. Print runs have been very unpredictable lately, especially with Pokemon right now. It's like, are we getting the product or not? Now there's 2 waves. Now we're getting 40% of what we thought. What's going on here? And you realize that because of the product scarcity, yeah, if you can sell this, it's a high selling price. But the problem is you're not getting the product. And reason number 4, and this again is me talking to myself in the past, you never really built your business. Most of the people that are going to quit by Christmas time, they're not really flippers, and they're not really business owners. They're workers. They're spending their time doing low leverage activities like waiting in line. That's not what a business owner should be spending his time on. Don't shoot the messenger. It's just my opinion. They don't have an email list. They don't know their customer retention. They don't know the lifetime customer value. They don't know their customer acquisition cost. They don't know the data because they're just randomly selling on TCG Player, the easiest platform to sell on. There's no systems that work for them, and they don't have leverage. They can't make decisions that make them a lot of money because they don't have the data to make those decisions. Because you don't hope that what you're doing and all of your hard work becomes a business. You need to progressively have goals. By this month, this should be my sale. By this month, this should be my email list. The goal shouldn't be in 10 years, maybe this happened. No, like, what are the steps? What's the timeline? And what are you doing to reach each step? What's your plan to reach each step? Otherwise, you don't even have a strategy. The new sellers are hoping they have a business, but they aren't treating their hustle like a business. And again, I was one of these people. Don't get mad. So yeah, I'm not saying new sellers are lazy. I'm not saying new sellers don't care. But I do think 90% of new sellers will quit by Christmas because they're building a business on quicksand. They're building it on allocation they're not going to get. Like, if they're not profitable reliably with what they are getting, and if they can't scale it meaningfully, meaning, let's say you are profitable, but it's because you're wasting time going to Costco, you can't scale that. Unless you're going to pay somebody else to stand in line at Costco and think that's going to work forever, you can't scale that and move up to the next level, then you're building something on quicksand. Again, I spent years flipping, selling, making mistakes, doing things the right way, everything you can think of, waiting, hoping, and praying that things are just going to work. But growth doesn't happen by accident. If that plant doesn't get water, it doesn't matter how hard you prayed for it to grow. That seed needs water. So if these new sellers realized where the best use of their time would be spent, they would have better odds of not quitting. And it's also the best time to start owning the customer, not in a weird way, but like owning their email address, having the ability to email them when you get new stock and just having it sell out quick. Now's the chance to start building your customer list. So when the hype does die down, guess what? You still have that customer list. The hype's not dying, but sellers are quitting because it's just too hard to get stuff. And if I had all of the answers, I would give you them, but I'm a big, dumb, stupid poo-poo head, so I don't. Subscribe.